This is about to be the most popular iceberg since the one that jacked up the Titanic. What's up, everyone? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email. That's right here. But right now, we are going to talk about this new album from Oddisee called The Iceberg. Now, Oddisee is an MC from Washington, D.C., who's been at it for a couple of years now, so he has a lot of great projects out there, including his Al Wasta EP, which actually made my top 20 of 2016. So you might want to go back and check that out, as well as his last album called The Good Fight. But this project right here is as good as any other place to start, because this is some damn fire. Now, first of all, the production on this has a lot of lively drums, groovy bass lines, guitar riffs, blaring horns, and even some sample work, so it's very dynamic. There are a lot of layers, and it really sounds like the type of project that would sound amazing performed live, especially with some of the singing vocals that you will hear throughout this project as well. But what really steals the show here and makes it so great is the content, because Oddisee is coming with a lot of great topics, and he seems very genuine when he's rapping about these issues as well, including on the song Things, where he's touching on all these things that we worry about, whether it's mental things that we're worried about, or even those physical material things, because as he spits, Biggie tried to warn him about all that, and I took that as a pretty clear reference to Mo Money, Mo Problems, because sometimes we think if we get all these things that we want, we'll be happy, but really, that can just cause more bullshit in your life. But one of the tracks on here that really stuck out to me is a song Digging Deep, where he's actually encouraging us to dig a little bit deeper and think more when it comes to judging certain situations, and specifically people, because he has a couple bars on here about how sometimes we might think that someone was born evil or they're evil incarnate, but oftentimes if we get to know this person and look at who they are, we can see what it was that shaped them to be the way they are, and maybe, got them to commit some of these actions or horrible things that they did. So it's a very interesting track that's getting us to look at the cause, not just what people are doing. And he does go into even deeper detail on this topic on the song You Grew Up, because on the first verse, he's rapping about a childhood friend of his who was white, who later in life turned out to be a racist. And then the second verse goes into detail about this young boy who was a Muslim, and he got bullied so much he just felt isolated and found acceptance by becoming radicalized. So he's not saying it's okay, obviously, to be radicalized or be a racist. Like, he's not saying, hey man, it's okay, look at what they went through, they can do all this shit. He's just telling you this is what happens sometimes to certain people. If you really pay attention to what they've been through, you can understand why they're doing the things they've done. And maybe then we can work on making it so this type of shit doesn't happen in the first place, just through talking and understanding. So there really is a lot of talk of equality, peace, love, and positivity throughout this project, and that's something that I always appreciate in hip-hop. There's just no shortage of feel-good jams on here, including NNGE and also Wannabe, which are just incredibly infectious with the hooks and the very fun production. And there are some more good lines on these tracks as well that stuck out to me. I especially like on Wannabe, where he has this line about how once you're in bloom, that's when the beehive swarms, and I took that as him just saying once you're doing good, that's when people want to come attack or take from you like a bee would do to a flower. And then on the song NNGE, he reminds us that whether you pray to the Father or pray to the East, we're all equal, we're all the same, and we should just work together. So, that idea might seem kind of corny and kumbaya to some people, but when you look at the current political climate and the way people are talking about each other and treating each other and are so divided, I think a little bit of understanding would go a long way, and we could all benefit from that for sure. He even gets more political on the single Like Really, which has some trappish production, which I thought was very interesting because it actually smooths out into a jazzy sound on the hook. But here on this track, he spits that, how you gonna make America great when it was never that amazing in the first place? So he's got a lot of political content on here where he's covering a lot of issues, including racism and inequality. So that was a dope track, man. There is just great content all over this damn thing, even when he's telling his own story, like on Built by Pictures, where he goes into detail about how he didn't have too much access, but he was still able to rise up. And on the song Rain Dance, he tells his own story in regards to personal growth, because he used to be out there chasing girls around. His parents wanted him to go off to Harvard or, get this nice college degree, but instead he just chose to focus on his music and really work on his craft. So you are going to get some personal stories from Oddisee as well, which really helps you to understand where he's coming from with some of this other content on this project. So overall, man, I think this is just a really dope album. I would give it a 4 out of 5, and I did think about a 4.5 here because I really was enjoying this one, but the more I thought about it, the rhyming is a little bit plain. Not to say that it's bad, because it's definitely not. I'm just saying the rhyme schemes, vocals, and delivery styles aren't really anything that's too out of the ordinary, and it's not like he's taking a whole lot of chances here with the overall sound, with these jazzy beats. So, you know, I'm not saying these are bad things, I'm just saying that kept it from being like a classic to me, but this is still damn fire, and even though I had to pick a least favorite track, that was hard to do. But I did go with Hold It Back just because I thought the beat on this was one of my least favorite ones. Although again, there is some good content because he's touching on gender inequality, where he spits this line about how his sister has all these credentials and she's having trouble finding work, and you know, in the same situation, people are more willing to hire him just off the fact that he's a man, even though he doesn't have the credentials that she has. So I thought that was interesting. And there's also another line on here about how people just think you're a hater whenever you give your opinion and you don't like something, which I can definitely appreciate as someone who reviews music, because I get called a hater probably more than anything else. But at the end of the day, 4 out of 5 seems fair to me. This is really dope. Definitely think it's going to make my end of the year list. But you guys check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comment section with your thoughts. And as usual, make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and of course, man, you gotta subscribe to my channel and click like on that Facebook page. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.